greatest moment in sim racing I've ever had.
Ty Higginbottom is your 5th annual GTR 250 champion. The 17 will win 2 weeks in a row. Rookie Jordan Kalinian, first career win in the NASCAR Series. Jared Ireland well on his way to the checker flag. Adam Wilson victorious at Dover. Andy Hurdle first career win in the NASCAR Series. C.D. Mangrum to the checker flag wins the Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue 175. This win is going to punch his ticket to the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup Playoffs. Charlie Sears wins at Monza. Who is it going to be? Contact to the line! Kalini gets turned. C.D. Mangrum wins at Indianapolis. What a finish! Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another live production of the Canadian eMotorsports Network, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue on iRacing. 5 weeks ago, we began the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup Playoffs. 5 weeks later, we have arrived at the penultimate race. We eliminated 2 drivers per round in the first 4 weeks, and now tonight we are eliminating 4 drivers, and we will be officially confirming the Championship 4 for Season 5 of the NASCAR Series, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. The round of 8 concludes now. For the second year in a row, it's the penultimate race of the season at the popular Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, where the cars and stars of the NASCAR Series will do battle for 100 laps and 200 miles in round 21 of 22, the Nordic Aluminium 200. On the call for tonight's race, as per usual, in the booth in the virtual state of California. The play-by-play voice you're hearing is from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Regan McCauley, here since Season 3. On the other side, he's been here since the very beginning. He's on the other side of the country in Alberta, Canada. It is Jordy Kerher. Jordy, how are you doing on this penultimate fine Tuesday night?
Wow, penultimate, big word there. First off, I'm happy to be closer to my virtual time zone here for this particular week. And then, I'd be lying if, the last little bit didn't feel like I was going through a bit of a car crash. So why would tonight feel any different? This is kind of the perfect venue to get all that out.
And we've had a bunch of drivers behind the scenes wondering if we might see a bit of that here tonight, because certainly expectations are that this could very well be the most dramatic race of the entire season here. Season 5 of the NASCAR Series, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue.
Pressure, though.
Yes, obviously. I keep saying penultimate. It's the final race to try and get yourself into the Championship 4 to fight for the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup at Homestead-Miami Speedway in 1 week, next Tuesday. Again, though, we already had one driver, obviously, that has solidified their spot in the Championship 4, and it's no surprise whatsoever who it is. He just doesn't stop, besides Talladega.
Yeah, the 00 represents the amount of chance the rest of the field had last week, really.
Yep. That's basically the way to put it. But yes, the number 00 of Jordan Kalinian winning the Bang Hart Seltzer 85 on the streets of Chicago. It was our first time in series history running on a street circuit, and no better time to do it than within the iRacing era, of course. So here are, of course, the results that were put out across our social media pages, the top 10 and the rest of the way there for round 20 of 22 on August 6, 2024. Of course, Kalinian getting the win. He swept both stages. He also led 33 of 38 laps. It was sheer domination. Man, oh man, there's been just so many races now, like especially here in the playoffs, where he's won the pole and he's won the race, like going back here on the schedule. He won the pole and the race at Darlington, at Watkins Glen, at Bristol, and at Chicago. The one race where nothing went his way at Talladega. Beyond that, beyond the Super Speedway, just nobody can stop him.
The guy just turned it up when it mattered. How many times have we been talking about that over the course of this season? That, you know what, or the playoffs especially, that, you know what, the guys who show up when it matters, they're going to be the ones who are going to be in contention at the end. I mean, we obviously knew what Jordan Kalinian was capable of over the course of the regular season, but ever since that green flag flew at Rockingham, completely different beast.
And the thing is, too, when you think back to the regular season, he won 4 of 15 races, and now here in the playoffs, he has won
Same amount.
4 or 5. So
yeah,
just think of those numbers: 4, 15, and then 4 or 5.
And again, still on this run of 5 out of his last 6, if you go back to Rockingham to end the regular season. So yeah, just absolutely monstrous drives out of the 00 here the last month plus.
And he's also finished on the podium in 8 of the past 10 races as well. He and Corbin McCauley have combined for 12 wins in 20 races, with 6 drivers combining for the other 8. And speaking of other drivers, let's go through the rest of these results, of course. Charlie Sears with another monumental performance, of course, once again, on a road course / street circuit, qualifying second, finished in second. He did lead a couple of laps last week on the streets of Chicago. That would be 5 exactly, finishing 13 seconds behind Sears at the checkered flag. CD Magram finishing on the podium, rounding it out right there. Andy Hurdle, Ty Higginbottom with top 5 finishes. Mike Marini and Jose Mercado rounding out the field in terms of lead lap cars. Tom Janikowski with an impressive top 10 finish. He's really been on a hot streak in the recent couple of races here in Season 5. Kyle Nolan, Darcy Ford, 2 drivers that were eliminated in the last round, finishing inside the top 10. And if we go the rest of the way, only 17 cars showed up and participated in the Bangerang Hard Seltzer 85 on the Chicago street course. Certainly a lot of bad luck for a lot of drivers down there. And the thing is, too, the reason why there's that little line right there, there's no minus whatever beside Corbin McCauley's name, man, oh man, is it just ever tragic to not even be able to complete one corner.
Yeah, I mean, that was arguably, we haven't seen a night like that from the 17 in a long time. Again, if there was anybody in the field who would be able to afford that, it was Corbin McCauley, outside of Jordan Kalinian, of course. But yeah, now, you know, the seat gets a little bit hotter at Auto Club tonight than perhaps maybe he was expecting going in.
Indeed so, and along with him as well, Adam Wilson having a lot of bad luck, finishing in 16th after qualifying 10th, 31 laps down. Justin Belmonte has been on a bit of a rough streak as of recently as the best of the rest challenge points leader. More than likely, he has a clutch as long as he does start tonight's race and also next week's race at Homestead-Miami. Jason Heaney, Mark Roulette, Hunter Young just fell short of finishing inside the top 10. But now moving on to where it really matters the most. This is the biggest storyline of them all. Holy crap. After Jordan Kalinian having advanced already, plus 10, plus 9, plus 1, minus 3, minus 11. McCauley at one point, early in the playoffs, was just fine. He could have made it in on points as long as he was able to finish. You could even argue if he wasn't able to, he still was all right. But now, with one race remaining until the championship 4, could we have ever possibly imagined a situation like this? And I mean, again, too, just knowing this is our most competitive playoff round yet, CD Magram only being plus 9. We saw how consistent he was in the regular season, but he has mostly completely fallen off here in the playoffs. If I go to the random statistics, he's only got one top 5 finish in the last 6 races. Now, probably a good thing, though, too, that he was able to kind of turn things around with the podium finish at Chicago last week, so maybe that'll help him on his end. But then, man, oh man, a guy like Charlie Sears in 4th place, 1 point above the cut line. You got basically two road course aces in 4th and 5th that have been really trying to improve themselves, especially on the ovals. I mean, of course, Andy Hurdle with the win in the regular season at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A guy like Ty Higginbottom, who we saw have great success early in the regular season, -3. Jose Mercado has been red hot in the last couple of races with top 5, top 10 finishes, but he's -11. Adam Wilson, 8th place, -24. Like that, what happened last week at Chicago, kind of similar to McCauley in some circumstances. Like, and then you see the drivers eliminated. How much more crazy can you get?
Yeah, I mean, in Adam Wilson's case, that was a bit of collateral on account of the lap 1 incident involving Corbin McCauley. So that should be noted there. But I mean, yeah, unless your name's Jordan Kalinian, I'm sorry, nobody is safe as they take the green flag here tonight. Like,
no,
there's any number of permutations and calculations that could come into play. That's, yeah, literally anybody could get knocked out here tonight. Like, obviously the goal is to finish as high as possible anytime, but like, I think out of those, like, Adam Wilson for sure would be a must win. Mm-hmm. I'd be leaning toward lumping Jose Mercado into that category too, but he's been, as you say, absolutely dynamic the last month or so. And yeah, then you've got former champ in 6th and 1 point right at the cut line. Are you kidding me? Like, and again, coming into Auto Club of all places, like, this feels like it could get wild.
Absolutely. For some of these other random fun facts that I have, Ty Higginbottom, I'm amazed by this guy being still -3 below the cut line. I mean, of course, very competitive field that we have here for Season 5 of the NASCAR Series. Higginbottom still hasn't finished outside the top 10 in a single race this year.
That is absolutely mind-blowing. I think there might have been 1 or 2 that he didn't compete in, but yeah, anytime he's taken the line, every race he's started.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah, he's made himself known anytime he's taken the green flag. And
yeah,
you know what? A guy with that kind of consistency, like, it's weird to call a former champion a dark horse, but I think you get what I'm getting at here as we look at how things could progress here tonight.
Well, I mean, that's just what the playoffs do. It sometimes makes former champions, just elite drivers, have, get to a point where all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, they're an underdog. They may not even have a chance whatsoever. It always fluctuates every single season with pretty much like 90% of drivers. The proof is right out there, and we're seeing it right here tonight at Auto Club Speedway going into tonight's race. He's also qualified inside the top 5 only twice and inside the top 10 8 times. So qualifying has been very much a struggle for him. But in the long run, his finishes have always been successful in most capacities. For someone like Adam Wilson, he's qualified inside the top 10 in every race that he started except for once. Andy Hurdle has 2 top 5 finishes, 3 top 10 finishes in the last 4 races. Sears has 3 top 10 finishes in the last 4 races, which is absolutely monumental compared to how the regular season was going again for the stock car rookie and the reigning IndyCar Series champion. He's also finished 6th or higher in just 4 of the last 9 races. Jose Mercado has finished inside the top 5 in 4 of the last 7 races. He's finished inside the top 10 in 5 of the last 7 races and 8 of the last 11. And Mercado has qualified 10th or higher in 5 of the last 6 races. So there's certainly a lot of fun facts going into tonight's race, the Nordic Aluminium 200 California. Man, oh man, saying that's rough.
I think you're still allowed to pronounce it aluminum. It's just the spelling that changes.
Okay. Good to know.
I think that's the message that we got about that.
So it's the spelling that's different. It's just that we can still say aluminum, though.
Yeah, it's just a European spelling.
Okay, we will go forward with that.
Yep.
Good thing. But anyways, there's technically there really isn't any more point in really showing this anymore, but at the same time, like, you see the big words there at the bottom. That's what these drivers are focusing on here tonight. That's where, like 7 drivers battling for 3 spots. They want to get there. In those bold words, they want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there in front of them. Not really much left to say at this point. It's just go out and get the job done. Nothing else really matters. And yeah, can't accept anything less at this point. It's literally do or die the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. And again, the track where we're going to decide who will be in the championship for next week for the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup, of course. Auto Club Speedway entering its 5th year of operation in the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series. The second race within the iRacing era. It was also the penultimate race last year, and we know, or everybody that remembers that race certainly remembers how dramatic that finish was, and there's a certain storyline that I will get into in just a little bit. But Auto Club Speedway, located in San Bernardino County near Fontana, California. I think we all know about what's going on in real life, but thank goodness we still have this virtually. 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers, 4 turns, obviously. They call it a D-shaped super speedway oval, being 2 miles. Technically super speedway, yes, but it's quite it's a wide track, 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 11 degrees on the front stretch, 3 on the back stretch. It's got lots of lanes, a lot of multi-groove racing to offer. It's got a bumpy surface and plenty of drafting on the straightaways, knowing how long they are, Jordy. And is there going to be a day to night transition? Would you know?
I believe there is, yeah.
So in that case, that's certainly going to be interesting in how this all plays out with the racing surface and grip and all that. And of course, too, when we get into the race analysis later, things are certainly going to be interesting when it comes to the fuel window.
Yeah, we've heard 20 to 24 laps. And I was going to say, I don't have the stages right in front of me. So
25, 25, 50.
Okay, so, a little bit of a strategy game coming into play, certainly. And you know what? The guys who take the chances, they've been providing entertainment over the course of the year, but this is a night where you just got to get it right no matter what.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And the one storyline that I was going to note in last year's race at Auto Club Speedway, again being the final race of the round of 8 to determine the championship for, Scott Bailey won the race. He then went on to win the championship next week at Homestead-Miami. Could we see 2 years in a row somebody win here tonight and then next week go on to crown themselves a Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series champion?
Yeah, certainly not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, tonight could be, well, it will be a matter of survival to see out of our remaining 7 who are still fighting for spots. Like, if you can win there, you can win pretty much in any situation. And you know what? The stakes just get higher and higher from here.
And the race has a certain title sponsor where a certain driver might be familiar with it. Of course, we don't promote conspiracies, but you never know.
No, that's true. I'm sure we'll get into that in the starting grid. But you know what? Not really a whole lot more time for talking here, I don't think.
Nope. The last thing I will say is that a couple of the top spots are certainly not surprising.
Okay, fair enough.
And we have 20 cars entered.
All right, so that'll mean a minimum of 17 points, which could be relevant for live tracking later on. Indeed.
So, with all that being said, I'm going to go into race control, give these guys a quick message here, get these engines fired up with the most famous words in motorsports, and then we'll go racing for 100 laps and 200 miles around the giant Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. It's the Nordic Aluminium 200, round 21 of 22, and the final race before the Championship 4. Who are the 4 drivers going home, and who are the other 3 drivers that will join Jordan Kalinian at the championship race at Homestead-Miami Speedway on Tuesday, August 20th. Stay tuned. Unfortunately, iRacing just had to give me that one camera angle that did not get the engine sounds firing up. 10 out of 10 timing. But anyways, let's introduce the starting lineup for tonight's here. Oh, there we go. That aged greatly. Anyways, with all that being said, here's the starting lineup for tonight's Nordic Aluminium 200 at Auto Club Speedway, starting off with, I literally told DeJory there's no surprise whatsoever who is up here at the front. Starting on the pole is the number 17 Chevrolet from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, sponsoring E-Motorsports and plenty of other partners. Corbin McCauley starts in first. Alongside him is the driver, of course, with 4 wins and 5 playoff races. The number 00 Toyota, Jordan Kalinian, starts second out of Salisbury, North Carolina. Moving on to row 2, where we have the number 20. It's a Tornado Alley E Racing row right here, where we have first the first-year driver, Adam Wilson, the number 21 Toyota. Out of Laurel, Delaware. Alongside him is the driver of the number 1 Toyota out of Atlanta, Georgia, sponsoring Nordic Aluminum all over his car. It is CD Magram.
And I nearly lost my cue, but I'm right on cue to give you the back end of the top 5 here, and it begins with a guy who's outside the cut line right now, the number 41 GTR Motorsports Ford of Jose Mercado out of Kissimmee, Florida. And on his outside, he's got a familiar foe, another day 1 OG here, the number 64 519 E-Racing Chevy of Darcy Ford out of Harrington, PEI. Moving on to row 4, we have the number 6 Ford of Justin Belmonte out of, I believe you keep calling it Pachigo, New York. Is that correct, I believe?
I think it is, yes.
Anyway, driving for GTR, and on his outside, it's the Bubble Boy, the 499 E-Motorsports Chevy of Charlie Sears, the number 32 out of Charlottesville, Virginia. He'll start his quest for the championship on row 4 in 8th.
Rounding at the top 10, where we have another Tornado Alley E-Racing driver and the 2022 Series champion, the number 97 Toyota of Ty Higginbottom out of Kansas City, Missouri. -3 below the cut line. He'll look to make his way into the championship once again. Alongside him is the first-year driver, the number 9 Toyota out of Altoona, Wisconsin. It is Jason Heaney. And then to get out just outside the top 10, starting in 11th, the number 93 Chevrolet out of Appleton, Wisconsin is Tom Janikowski. Alongside him and driving the number 13 Chevrolet out of Eudora, Kansas, it is Jared Ireland.
All right, on row 7, we stay in Eudora, Kansas, where we find the number 4 Chevy of Mason Tomlinson starting in 13th. On his outside is the number 15 Storm Surge E-Motorsports Toyota of Kyle Knoll out of Wendell, North Carolina. On to row 8 now, and oh boy, this is a bit of a surprise here. The 519 E-Racing Chevy of Andy Hurdle. He's going to have to do some climbing here. 1 point back of the cut right now, but the Dayton, Ohio native starting 15th here tonight, so he's got some work to do. The man starting 16th, driving number 16 in the always lovely Oregon Ducks livery, Ryan O'Toole out of Portland, Oregon.
And to round out the rest of the field, starting on row 9, where we have, starting in 17th, it is the number 33 Koopa's Racing Toyota out of Winter Haven, Florida, Trevor Binns. Alongside him is the driver in the number 77 GTR Ford out of St. Catharines, Ontario. It is Hunter Young. And to round out the field on row 10, starting in 19th, we have the owner of Koopa's Racing from Georgina, Ontario. Shout out to him. He was recently on Rogers TV. The number 80 of Mark Ouellette. And alongside him, rounding out the field in 20th place, it is the number 10 Chevrolet from 519 Racing out of London, Ontario. Jason Butler rounds out the 2024 Nordic Aluminium 200 starting lineup.
All right, Riggs, I know we're in California, but this has all the feelings of a Vegas show here tonight. I'm just ready for fireworks.
Absolutely. So quick race analysis, 100 laps, 200 miles, stages 1 and 2 are 25 laps each. Final stage, 50 laps. Pit road speed is 55. Oh, it's not 55 laps, it should be miles per hour. Brain fart.
Can't drive 55.
Fuel window is 20 to 24 laps, which is why I said earlier, the fuel window is certainly going to be interesting when it comes to these stages. It's just a matter of how long we're going to have green flag racing here tonight. But with all that being said, the pace car, the iRacing safety car, is going to pull off onto pit road. And just like Jose Mercado said in the chat, let's put on a show under the lights. The day to night transition, the Nordic Aluminium 200, the penultimate race of the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup Playoffs is underway.
And for once, nobody's getting away here. It's a rare start where everybody's still together.
Ooh, Justin Belmonte had a loose moment there, just under the white line, but he gets it back going. Still on all 4 wheels, and the steering wheel straight.
Yeah, all he's got to do is hang on.
Indeed, he did.
Just hang on to these opener laps.
And it looks as though, so far, with the hottest start, Jordan Kalinian, but here comes C.D. Mangrum, the Nordic Aluminum, Toyota, to the front. He's not going to clear Kalinian, though, because he's going to have a better run there off the high side with that corner exit. The 17 of Corbin McCauley still well in the running, too.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a lot of that in these opening laps here. Guys just kind of trying to figure out what the best approach is going to be. I was going to say, Kalinian, he almost looked like he should have been running the number 1 there. He was almost on the wall.
So right now, the top 3 drivers are basically statistically the best drivers all season long here in Season 5. Jordan Kalinian, most wins on the year. Corbin McCauley back there in 3rd with 4, and then C.D. Mangrum's got 2 there in 2nd place. These are pretty much the 3 consensus drivers based on popularity for, and statistically speaking, who would be in the championship 4.
Yeah, and it's important for Mangrum and McCauley. I nearly put those names together. I mean, they're certainly pretty close in the standings right now, which was the point I was getting to, that, you know, this is a good start for them, just needing to get themselves pushed out here a little bit to maximize their stages, so to speak, just to kind of neutralize the rest of the field and try to secure their spots, move into the championship 4 with as little drama as possible.
Yeah, McCauley is really going for it here thus far. He wants to take the race lead and be able to keep that momentum going later on here tonight, again being only plus 10 above the cut line. That is absolutely nowhere near safe to making it to the next round. He still has to make sure he finishes this race.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that added element of danger here tonight, right? Like, again, I mentioned it in the pre-race show. If anyone was going to have an incident last week and be okay, Jordan Kalinian and Corbin McCauley were those 2 guys. So for McCauley to have that happen, it kind of brings him back down to earth, but we'll see if that comes with a renewed focus here tonight.
So Adam Wilson started in 3rd. He is now back here in the 4th position, though. Jose Mercado fighting against him on the high side. The 0-0 and the 17 are still going at it. Is back here, it looks like the 32 and the 9 almost got together off of 2 down the bumpy back straightaway.
Yeah, right now, though, the only guy that, well, I guess I can't really say the only guy that 32 has to worry about is the 7, but Higginbotham's right there as well. As they run live, Charlie Sears would still have that 1-point gap, but that would be over Higginbotham instead of Hurdle, as 7 continues to try and climb up the field. Perhaps might have to play the long game in order to maximize his chances, but he might not be able to afford to do that.
Yeah, so far it looks like it might be a long-run strategy here for the number 7 Doralton Ventures Chevrolet. Currently in 16th. He originally started in 15th.
Oh, so actually lost the spot.
Still early, though. Coming to lap 7 of 100. Corbin McCauley clears the way for the race lead over Jordan Kalinian. Somehow managed to get a better exit there against him on the inside, as Kalinian has been absolutely... I had the term in mind, but then I forgot it. He's been, hogging. He's been hogging the high lines.
I was going to say, I wouldn't have been able to use that in a clean manner, I don't think, so I'll just let you handle that one, as McCauley handled that pass.
Well, it used to be called a puck hog when I played hockey in my young days.
There you go. No, that makes sense.
Ooh, contact.
Yeah, definitely some bump in there. again, no love lost necessarily between a couple of guys who've been around for a little while, and Jose Mercado and Ty Higginbotham.
97 all the way on the high side, trying to get a better exit than the 21, his teammate. And he'll clear the way to get into the top 4. Now he's going to try and get past his other teammate, the veteran, C.D. Magram.
Well, again, Higgy's another guy who has to make something happen tonight. He hasn't really had to worry about that all year, really, because obviously he took Daytona right at the start of the season. So really has been able to kind of drive, not carefree, but certainly not thinking about as many variables as the rest of the field. This is the first time where, you know, he'll be put under a little bit of pressure here. And so we'll see how the 97 responds as he makes his bid to become the first two-time champ.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Darcy Ford will not be able to claim that title, obviously being eliminated back in the round of 10 after...
just a rough run of it.
Bristol and Talladega. Yes, rough runs around there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think much more needs... Oh, man. And that's a shift from... Well, brief shift anyway from Kalinian down low, but then he goes back up high.
And just they're just racing into a beautiful sunset. There's a couple of cars in the wall exiting turn 2. It's going to be 3 wide for 4th. Jose Mercado diving down to the inside, taking advantage of what might have been potentially checkups or something like that there, along with the wall hits. But he puts himself into 4th place. So, again, just remember, stage points are going to be absolutely integral.
Yeah, without question. And I mean, that's why guys are exploring every last millimeter of this Auto Club layout here tonight, trying to find, you know, where they're going to find the best run. And you know what? There's a very fine line between pushing it and pushing it too far. Some would call it the limit. A lot of people have just flat out never heard of it.
So now on lap 11 here of 100. Again, as a reminder, fuel window is about 20 to 24 laps. So again, we're really seeing we might see a lot of different strategies play out here and really find out who maybe using up their tires a little bit too much, who might be trying to save themselves. And just knowing the racing that we have going on up here, I think Andy Hurdle might be a little bit relieved.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still
kind of
outside of striking distance, though. You talked about how integral stage points are. You got to be there to get them. Hurdle still hasn't made the moves quite yet.
A reminder, though, too, the last 2 races in the Canadian eMotorsports Network that we've had here at Auto Club Speedway, remember, of course, on the NASCAR side, dramatic finish leading to Scott Bailey getting the win. And then there's the Dart Series, where you have the whole field wrecking on the final lap, and a wreck car manages to somehow win.
Yeah, and that's to say nothing of the spring opener there as well for Season 4, where it came down to the end between...
Darcy Ford!
Boy.
2 cars going around. Trevor Binns as well getting collected. Is he going to get the wall? Oh!
And that's going to help our fuel saving, friends.
Incredible job by the 33. I don't think he got the wall there. Darcy Ford certainly didn't. But 2 cars going around on the back straightaway caution on lap 13. That's going to make things interesting when it comes to strategies, and it's certainly going to help a lot of drivers.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, with the caution, don't really have to worry about that anymore. Just take a little splash, figure out what you're going to do tire-wise if you want to hang on for the rest of the stage and just change between stage 1 and 2. Or if you want to make the aggressive run to try and get some points now. Shout out Andy Hurdle, I'm thinking. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, man. It looks like Binns got loose and then came down to the 64.
Yeah, we'll just have to put that other... Yeah, like, not really a whole lot to it. Just, you know, the 64 winds up being the casualty of that. And yeah, very, very minor touch, if there was one, from Bins.
We could still kind of call that a bit of a save to an extent, though. At least he didn't smash it head on. He didn't smash it head on, so.
Oh yeah, I would like 99.5% call that a save.
Ooh.
Okay. Now the games begin.
So Macaulay, Wilson, Mercado, Higginbottom, and Hurdle. Those are some of the notable playoff drivers here down pit road. Notably, Kalinian and Sears, and yeah, Kalinian and Sears do not come down.
Well, I mean,
and neither
again,
did Magram, I think.
Charlie Sears being on the bubble, like, there might be something to be said for track position here. Now, you'd have to assume that, there would be some tires coming here for the drivers who came in. And so that would provide, obviously, the advantage later on. But again, if you're Charlie Sears, a little bit more security in that cut line position, never a bad thing. But I don't think Macaulay took any tires there, did he?
I believe only Justin Belmonte and Ty Higginbottom and Andy Hurdle did.
Okay, so guys just, not taking any chances fuel-wise, as I'm going to get some clarity here, I think. And, okay, so, yeah, that would... Okay, so we have an answer on Mangrum anyway, and O'Toole for that matter. As they happened to be in pit lane anyway when the caution came out. And it did come out at lap 13, so that's right around the halfway point. So stands to reason that, they would go for that just to keep things safe.
And he only took right side tires.
Okay then.
So, basically, Magram took 2 tires there before that caution came out, or basically right when it did. And then everybody else except for the 6, 97, and the 7 took just fuel.
And that 7 looks like he may have lost out again here. He's down in 17th here. Now, you thought it might have been an opportunity for him to jump a spot or two. Nope, just stuck where he is. Kind of alternating between 17th and 18th as they're gridded up.
So we're going to have 14 laps till the end of... 10 or 9. Yeah, 9 laps till the end of this first stage. And yeah, with the 32, the 0, the 93, and the 15 all not pitting. And everybody else behind them, Magram with the 2 tires, a bunch of fuel takers, and then 3 cars that took 4 tires. This is going to get interesting. Oh, man!
Oh, boy, did someone miss a cue there, perhaps?
Charlie Sears, I believe, with a massive mess up there on the start. They're 4 wide going into the corner.
Man, oh, man. How about O'Toole getting into the top 5?
What an underdog story that would be of the driver that's had a lot of mediocre luck here this season.
Yeah, now you see Charlie Sears trying to make up for some lost time here, a little bit of collateral damage. Got back up into 4th, so not as bad as it could have been. But man, oh man, just... that was a bit of a strange restart, it has to be said.
Ooh, and Sears got loose there as well.
Yeah,
Magram's going to try to get a good run underneath to make it almost 3 wide, but Sears clears himself ahead of Mercado.
And he's going to be aware of Mercado there. Certainly another guy who's, outside the cut line right now, so he'll pay more attention there. But, of course, we've seen Sears and Magram tangle up a couple of times in these playoffs, too.
Oh, we have a challenge for the lead here. Jordan Kalinian had a great start there, while Charlie Sears did not. Complete opposite of him. Kyle Knoll is now taking the race lead.
Yeah.
Oh, Sears saves it. 4 wide.
I wonder if there was a touch from Kalinian there, though. Just a subtle one and not intentional. But I thought there might have been a tap there.
This is tight racing. Oh, man. Kalinian with the slide ahead of Sears up high.
Man, oh, man. Yeah, that's
Ooh.
just a little pack there.
This is stage 1, fellas.
Yeah, again, we've said before, you can't win a race on lap 1. You can certainly lose it there or, equivalently early. You can race hard, but, you got to keep racing. 4 wide, good
We're
God.
still 4 wide. We were for a couple seconds.
Forget Auto Club. This is the Autobahn.
6 laps to go till the end of stage 1. Kyle Knoll at a 2/10 lead. Oh man, that clear job by somebody was wild. I think it was the 17.
Man, oh man. I mean, don't tell these guys these stages don't mean anything. They are on it right now.
Kalinian is dropping like a rock. But then again, though, it doesn't affect him.
I was going to say, maybe that's why he's dropping like a rock here, unless there's something else that we don't know about.
Oh, we were talking about Andy Hurdle being towards the back of the pack. He's up to 8th. So, of course, taking those 4 tires have certainly helped him. Kyle Knoll and CD Mangum are going at it here for the stage win.
Yeah, I think Hurdle almost had to there just give himself whatever advantage he could early on. Again, stage points, they mean more than ever here tonight. They'll never mean more, as a matter of fact, because they don't mean anything next week.
Magum's going to get a massive run here down the front straightaway. To the inside he goes into 1. Charlie Sears trying to fight for 3rd against Jared Ireland. So is Ty Higginbottom there within the mix too.
And everybody makes it out okay. This is very encouraging.
And looking at my notes, I don't think CD Mangum has won a single stage this season.
Which is, like, insane to think about. But, yeah. Because he'd have, what, 2 race wins in the regular season, and then the regular season bonus, which I think was 8 points. Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't see his name anywhere there. Oh, Jared Ireland with a loose moment in front of the 17. That might have given him a heart attack. They'll keep it going.
Him and a few others as, Hurdle continues his climb right around that.
Well, I mean, that was right in front of him, so, like... Mercado was back there, too, so, yeah, I guess that does make sense. CD Mangum has opened up about a half a second or so lead, so taking advantage with those 2 fresh right side tires. Again, pitting before the caution. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and again, it shouldn't be, a fuel issue for anybody here now, not just because of the stop, but, like, you'd think the caution would have had them save enough, but maybe that little splash just didn't hurt.
Kyle Knoll trying to hang on over Ty Higginbottom and Justin Belmonte for the 2nd position. Coming to the white flag for stage 1. The 97 giving the 15 some bumps there down the front straightaway. Belmonte on the inside of the 97. So Knoll's got 2 cars to defend, while Mangum, on the other hand, he's now opened up about 6 or 7 tenths on everybody else. It looks like he might be able to hang on unless something happens. Oh, Belmonte squeezing himself underneath the 15, almost 3 wide per second. They are 3 wide.
I was going to say, Higginbotham would dearly love to clear those 2 non-playoff drivers and give himself a little bit more of an opportunity to fight here to get towards that cut line.
Oh, man!
Yeah, you got 1.
And coming to the line, CD Magram, stage 1.
All right, this is going to be fun to tabulate here.
Jeez, Kalinian's last.
Again, he didn't really have anything to worry about.
Actually, I have to keep that on. So I believe the stage 1 results are Megram first, Belmonte second, Higginbottom's third, Knowles fourth, Sears is fifth, McCauley's sixth, Hurdle seventh, Mercado eighth, Ireland ninth, and Adam Wilson rounding them out. So that means, besides Kalinian, of course, we're going to forget about him because he's already advanced his way in, all the other 7 drivers did finish in the top 10.
They did indeed, and yeah, we'll go very quickly here to see how that affects everything. I will have that for you momentarily.
And while you get that prepared momentarily, Jordy, just stage 1, that was wicked.
I mean, it's about as advertised, right? Like, we knew that every inch was going to matter here on track, and it's lived up to the billing here so far, and I wouldn't expect anything less here as the stakes get higher and higher. And as we look at the overall standings here, again, we have Kalinian having advanced. Again, I'm not sure why this gap is saying that Magram has advanced, because he certainly has not. However, winning the stage means he has a gap of plus 13 to the cut line. Corbin McCauley with his 6th place finish in the stage, he's plus 9. Charlie Sears remains at plus 1 to the positive on the cut, but it's not Andy Hurdle that's right behind him now. It's Ty Higginbotham, as he's jumped Hurdle in the standings. Hurdle now minus 3. Mercado falls to minus 14. And Adam Wilson, with the despite the 10th place finish in the stage, dash 29 next to his chances here. So very much in must-win territory.
So pretty much everybody down pit road under this stage caution. It looks like everybody except Higginbottom took 4 tires and fuel.
Unless there was something in Higgy's strategy off of the first in-race caution that might have helped him out. Maybe kind of balanced him out here.
He did take 4 tires there when that caution came out alongside Andy Hurdle. So
yeah.
Maybe something's coming to play right there. Maybe trying to save himself a set of tires.
Yeah, I mean, he does risk the Bob Seger treatment, though, as he could potentially fall like a rock if he's got tire issues compared to everybody else.
Indeed, so we have seen how tire wear has affected some of this racing here, some of these guys and their strategies so far, as it looks like the pace car lights are going to go off. Everybody's going to line up double file here to get underway for stage number 2. Again, would be 25 laps, but now with these stage caution laps, I believe we'll be going green with 21 to go.
Yeah, that would certainly check out here. Yeah, lap 29. Yep, that adds up. What pace car?
I saw that and I eventually felt like it. And so the sun continues to set underneath the horizon here at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Ty Higginbottom, CD Magram on the front row here to begin this second and middle stage. It's an all Tornado LE Racing front row. Adam Wilson's all the way back in 8th at the moment. And Yeah. The sheet you had originally said advanced beside Mega, I'm like, yeah, that must be like a glitch or just some sort of a mathematical number thing.
Yeah, that's what it was. It just for some reason it gave him a race win instead of the stage win. So that's what triggered the advanced part of that formula. But now we're good. Except I don't know why the rest of the math is screwed up, but you can see it for yourself.
Yeah, try to do a bit of a quick math, but green flag, stage 2. It'll be 21 laps till the next green checkered flag.
Ah, there we go. I got it. We're good now.
3 wide for the lead. The number 17 looking to pounce early.
Man, oh man, talk about good. How about this start here? Nobody leaving anything to chance. And you can't.
He's going to clear the 1 through turns 3 and 4. Might have gotten a tad bit wiggly there. Oh, trouble! Hard in the wall.
Boy.
Hunter Young and Tom Janikowski in the back of the pack. Caution.
And I mean, that'll be early enough. I don't think anyone's going to blink right offhand, but we'll see. Like, again, they were literally just down pit road here, so I don't know how much value there would be in going right back. So I think you'll see pretty much status quo here.
So that will be our second incident-related caution of tonight's race. Janikowski gets into the wall again without the front end. I don't think Hunter Young has one either. No, he doesn't. But we're going to have to get a replay of what happened there towards the back of the pack as they were going through turns 3 and 4. You kind of got a sneak peek there, but anyways.
Yeah, worth taking another look, obviously, as, you know, Mercado just in front of that. That could have been potentially disastrous for his chances.
Ooh,
Great
man.
avoidance by everyone behind them.
One of them being Kalinian.
Yeah, again, guy who doesn't have anything to worry about, so if he'd been taken out, it would have been just, you know, another hour-ish of practice time for Homestead-Miami. But, yeah, the boys went for a bit of a ride there.
Ooh. Ryan O'Toole went for a ride in the grass there as well.
Well, you gotta avoid it however you can. And, yeah, 16, good job hanging on.
I'm going to get the cockpit view here of Kalinian, because holy moly, that was close.
Yeah, there he comes, there he goes. Things flying all the way around. Yeah, just your average night at Auto Club.
Potential foreshadow for just before the checker flag.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it before.
No.
I mean, I don't know if it'll beat the unofficial record set at Chicago last week for number of front ends lost, but, you know, it might
Yes.
come close.
Can I go 2 years in a row with a finish where I say, oh my gosh?
I mean, whether it's competitive or not, I feel like that's a pretty good bet.
So after 31 of 100 laps, we've had 3 cautions, 2 being incident-related, 1 being the Stage 1 mandatory caution. 24 laps under green, 7 under caution. We've already had 6 lead changes and 5 different leaders. Most notably, fastest lap is a 40.4 by Justin Belmonte. About 10-ish laps earlier.
Again, first Auto Club winner last year. Not necessarily a surprise to see him fast again.
And that was quite the dramatic finish. Him and the 17 of Corbin McCauley making contact off of 4 coming to the line.
Yeah, that was second race of the iRacing era. My debut, actually, on the iRacing side of things.
Yeah, because I got stupid with technology the week before at Daytona.
Yeah, we'll choose to remember that differently.
There was like one thing on my audio device that all I had to do was just turn it, and you were fine.
Oh.
But no, we live and learn.
Yep. Growing pains, folks.
Yes, sir. So, the current weather, partly cloudy as the sun continues to set. The track temperature is currently 29 degrees Celsius. about almost 20 kilometers per hour wind speed.
Yeah, and you know what? Things change when the sun goes down, but you know, I gotta keep some energy here. So I got the thinking ahead to Florida. I've got a bit of the OJ going, and Reeves, I've got it going in my IndyCar Series class, which I'm happy I'm able to say.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be even happier for the IndyCar Series in a few weeks' time.
Yes, indeed. We obviously came in with recently came out with the news that Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue has partnered with us once again to be the title sponsor for the IndyCar Series Season 3. Yes, again, IndyCar. Now, back to that. No more motorsports game drama crap, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, we'll get into more of that down the line as we got, of course, the penultimate race here of the NASCAR Series season to get wrapped up for our championship finale at Homestead-Miami Speedway next Tuesday night. Of course, the green flag out here for the restart in the middle stage. C.D. Mangrum has pulled out away by about 2/10 or so. A couple of battles going on here. Wilson hanging on for third thus far over Jared Ireland. Charlie Sears trying to hang on over Kyle Knoll for a top 5 spot.
Yeah, Sears will be happy where he is right now because, you know, it's Higginbotham that's his immediate competition right now, and he's a couple spots below. So, you know, as much, again, quote-unquote breathing room as you want to have, like, the best way to do it is to be as far out in front as possible. And Sears, he's, you know, he knows Higginbotham's in the vicinity. Now that gap is 3 places, but, you know what? They're not done, not by a long shot.
Lots of great racing going on here about mid-pack. Jordan Kalinian still trying to maintain those highlights. Ooh, Belmonte had a loose moment there. Higginbotham almost did too. 4 wide for about a couple milliseconds there with Andy Hurt on the inside. Oh, contact!
Yeah, there we go.
Mercado Bins is in it. Someone else up the track. No caution.
How? I mean, part of it, I almost think if, yeah, that's baffling. Generously, that's baffling.
That is going to massively screw over the 41.
Yeah, for all the positive momentum he's had, he will be driving as a man possessed these last 64 laps.
What on earth happened? Yeah, so they all had the loose moment there. Oh, I think Bins may have came up. Hurdle tagged the wall there too, so that might be concerning.
Gonna say, yeah. I thought initially Hurdle might have avoided it, but not so much.
Okay, I think Hurdle came up and it was either netcode or Bins might have had a bit of a scare, which then led him into the 41.
Well, I mean, it looked like Bins certainly moved first out of that particular group.
Again, that's just speculation. Things happen immediately, things happen quickly, and we still got green flag racing going. We would have had a great opportunity for a better analysis there.
Had we actually gotten the caution we expected?
Exactly, and as I was saying all that, Darcy Ford kind of forced Justin Belmonte into the outside wall there, exiting turn 2. They're still going.
Yeah,
oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
They're trying to get the loose moment. They're trying to get the loose moments over with so that when the sun goes down, then it's you know,
fight like a tiger.
So Mercado went down pit road. So did Bins. Or actually, no, Mercado's still in his box.
Uh-oh.
He's been in there for a minute. Bins is now exiting. I think Butler might have been collected in that too.
So that'll be a couple laps down for Mercado at least, depending on how much longer he's in there. But again, unless the damage is terminal, You gotta fix it. There's no way around it. Otherwise, that's just good night moon.
Yeah, and knowing that a non-playoff driver was involved in that, that's certainly, that might not make certain drivers happy.
But I mean, everybody's racing on the same track, though. Like, it's easy to look at that and say, yeah, that might not be favorable, but at the same time, everybody's still in the same race here. And you know what? Guys are all going to have competitive instincts no matter what. So ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if that's classified as a racing incident, but, you know, with a little bit more time and a little bit more analysis, we may have a differing view, but I think it's hard to call it anything otherwise without more concrete evidence right now.
As you were talking there, we had some 3-wide drag racing down the front straightaway between Kalinian, Ireland, and Belmonte for the 5th position. Top 4 are currently single file. The 17 currently leading the way by about 2/10 or so there ahead of the 32. Here comes C.D. Mangrum and Adam Wilson. Bit of a tag team effort here from Tornado Alley E Racing. Although they would certainly love to have Ty Higginbottom up there with them, but he's currently in 11th.
Yeah, and honestly, Higgy's got to run his own race here. Like, it's more Ty would love to be up with them, honestly, because
that's what I mean.
Yeah, Adam Wilson, like, he knows he has to win, but he knows he'd be doing it at the expense of a teammate anyway. So you kind of throw that out the window here, quite honestly. It's every guy for themselves.
That's the thing. All three of them need to fight for a spot, so
yeah, Mangrum winning a stage certainly helped his cause.
Oh, absolutely. The 32 is certainly helping his cause right here to try and get a couple more points above the cut line. He currently sits in 2nd, trying to battle the 17, who's also trying to win his way into the Championship 4, again being, right now at the moment, only 9 points above the cut line. Sears being 1. Ooh, some tight racing back here. Ireland, Knoll, Heaney, and Ford are in a 4-car pack here going at it for the 7th position.
Yeah, the way things are right now, though, like, Sears has potential to blow this thing open here. Neither of Higginbotham or Hurdle are in the top 10 right now. And, of course, you saw Mercado get collected there a few moments ago. And Wilson, he's too far back on points to have any impact on the 32. This is kind of ideal real estate here for Charlie Sears.
Especially, too, he would be more than ecstatic to get an excellent finish on an oval because, again, too, for the stock car rookie, who, of course, did have some open wheel or some oval experience on the open wheel side back last year in the Dart Series or now the IndyCar Series. Again, that's open wheel, though. Versus a stock car, the luck has been just bleh. Oh!
Yeah, but he did what he had to do when he needed to at Monza, when he was expected to, almost. Yes. And this is kind of a similar scenario here. Certainly not the same familiarity, you know, road course versus oval on the NASCAR side of things, as you rightly mentioned. As, you know, it almost looked like a tic-tac-toe board there.
Where did Kalinian come from?
I mean...
Don't take that literally.
I mean, he's... Well, no, I'm trying to figure out the best way. Like, he did stay out after that early caution, I believe.
Oh, Sears with a slide.
Drove up. Yeah. Yeah, Sears might need to go to a bit of a higher quality store to get some better tires here, I think. Don't think the Sears brand will cut it.
Mercado's been in his box for 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's... could be job done. I don't see anything in the YouTube chat from the 41, though I do see another message from Ben Summerford encouraging the Koopas e-racing drivers along here in the form of Jason Heaney, excuse me. Sorry, Butler. Trevor Binns.
Ooh, Kalinian got loose there. I could see it through his cockpit there, through the windshield. He was really going at the steering wheel.
Yeesh.
And they're 3 wide for 2nd. Mangrum is going to clear the way on the inside. Honestly, anybody could take this stage.
Well, yeah, we've been green ever since that very early caution. Those tires ought to be screaming right now.
Yeah, I mean, the drivers have now approached 20 lap stints since they last pitted, and they're coming to 3 laps to go here in stage 2. Sears a little bit wobbly there on the inside. Oh, Aluminium with a crossover.
Ooh. That was almost calamity, and again, because it's Aluminium, it would have been spelled with a K.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you almost fulfilled your better prediction there, and we're not even through stage 2.
The thing is, all these guys sliding all over the place, it's not helping, because that's actually causing the 17 to pull away.
Well, I mean, it's certainly helping his case as long as he can keep himself straight here for the next lap and change.
Macaulay has a whole pack of cars that are charging after him here now, coming to 2 laps to go in stage 2.
And now they're starting to come up on lap traffic as well.
That is Jason Butler. Oh my gosh, they're all on the high side. Look at Kalinian trying to be like Kyle Larson on CD Mangrum.
Captain Highliners here. They're all, just say trying the same thing. But yeah, things finish as they are in this stage. Anyone who's not in the top 4, with Sears being where he is, if you're outside the top 4, it's a must-win. Like, there's no question in my mind about that.
Mercado's back out on track. He was in his pit box for 7 minutes. He is 11 laps down. That was the white flag right there for stage 2. Is the 17 going to hang on and try to go for what would be his 14th stage win of the season?
I mean, again, nobody's safe. I think he kind of has to.
And is the lap car Butler not going to help his case here? Maybe is someone else going to try to steal this away from him? CD Magrum's going to dive down.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of run the one gets out of here.
Not going to be enough. Cobra Macaulay, stage 2.
All right, and that's a big tone setter here for the rest of the night. As, again, he's not necessarily safe here either. But, again, a stage win certainly doesn't hurt his cause. As I'm just waiting for the caution to come on the YouTube stream. There it is.
I'll try to get you in order here. So by the looks... I think if I'm correct...
That's reassuring.
17 first, Magrum second, Kalinian third, Sears fourth, Knoll fifth, Belmonte sixth, Wilson seventh, Ireland eighth, Ford ninth, and Jason Heaney 10th.
Yeah,
I think.
That's the order I see on the paused YouTube stream when the caution bug came out.
I got it just in time because Kalinian then went down pit road.
And so, let's just see here. And while we're doing that, I will take the opportunity with the break in the action here to wish the folks a happy anniversary here tonight. Of course, they've been married a little longer than I have, so that is proof that, you know, when it comes to being a bastard, it's usually limited to commentary for me.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Well, I mean, if you're born out of wedlock, that's the term. So I'm not that technically. I'm not a bastard in that sense, but sometimes I can be when I'm on the air.
Good to know.
I think people know that by now. They've been watching for 5 seasons of this.
Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, I've got some numbers here for you, and let's just see. So The only question on Mangrum and McCauley is whether they've done enough to mathematically advance as of right now. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I can tell you that Mangrum is plus 22 to the cut after a second place finish. Corbin McCauley with the win is 19 on the good side. And the thing I noticed toward the end of the stage, again, with Ty Higginbotham and Andy Hurdle outside the points, that gap at the cut has widened significantly. It's now 8 points, the gap that Charlie Sears has. So, as I said, if you're getting in and you're outside the championship for as it is right now, it's must win for all four of those guys, 5 through 8. Higginbotham -8, Hurdle -10, Mercado -21, Wilson, even with the 7th place finish, still 32 back of the number 32.
So this is interesting. So Kalinian we saw go down pit road to take 4 tires. And then everybody else came down to take 4 tires, but then Kalinian came back with a 4-second stop. So does that mean he topped off?
I was
Or is
going
there
to say
something else I
maybe
don't know?
miscalculation. Because
Could
4
be that
seconds
too.
doesn't seem long enough to be a penalty.
He currently sits in 14th at the moment after all that, so it's either a miscalculation or he was topping off. It's either... Oh, okay, you know what? That makes sense, because he did come in before everybody else, so...
Okay, that would do it. Again, he's the one guy who literally has nothing to worry about tonight. So, yeah, for those at home, it is an EOL for the record for, pitting under a closed pit lane.
And thank goodness this stage is going to be under 50 laps long, because judging by how the restarts have gone, I do not want to do the crank it up yet.
Yeah, no, that is, I think, a fair assertion.
Damn, Sears +8?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, he was 4th in that stage, and neither one of Higginbotham or Hurdle was in the top 10. So that opens up the gap considerably. And as I say, 5 through 8, it's must-win territory now, baby.
Indeed so, and these guys are going to have 46 laps to try and duel for the Nordic Aluminium 200 win here in the round of 8 finale at Auto Club Speedway. We still got 3 spots to solidify for the Championship 4 next week at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Let's find out.
And, yeah, how about that getaway from the 17? Just, as I say, trying to build off of that Stage 2 win. Trying to get that clean air and just taking off.
Wilson and Sears may have gotten together there down the back straightaway. The 21 was wiggly.
Yeah, and again, Wilson, he would have known coming into tonight that it was a must-win situation. So he's going to pull out every trick in the book, I would think, to try and get up to the head of the field.
So McCauley in the race lead. It's about top 4 single file. Justin Belmonte trying to battle Sears for the 5th position. Or as I say that, Jared Ireland pops up out of the darkness and takes 6th place. They're still going at it behind them. Almost 3 wide. Heaney, Belmonte, and Ford.
Yeah, don't worry about me being quiet. I'm trying something a little bit different here.
You go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is like just doing my best to keep an eye on the overall standings here as they run to try and give you a quote-unquote super live tracker as to how many points they'll need as they're running live. We know what the numbers were going into the stage, but yeah, we'll see if I can do my best to track that even further.
Jose Mercado is within this pack here despite being 11 laps down.
Yeah, I mean, that might be game over for the 41. Like, he'd need borderline an act of God.
Ooh, Ryan O'Toole gets into the outside wall in turn 2. He is back in 14th as the pack continues to rage on ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, for everything that's happened, like, everybody's still running, so there's something to be said for that.
6/10 separating the 17 and the 1 for first place. Quickly approaching 40 laps to go. Why?
Yeah.
The random number is just, it's lap 60, so I guess I thought it was 60. I go, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, 100 minus. Yeah. But yeah, like, again, looking at this top 5, like, Charlie Sears, again, he's gotten more comfortable. 13 stage points has helped him, certainly, but again, out of that top 5, like, you see him right there, Adam Wilson. That is, again, absolutely must-win territory, like I said earlier. And, you know, he drops again down to 6th. Like, nothing other than first is going to be good enough for the 21.
Indeed, and now that since things have spread out just a little bit here in the third and final stage, and we'll certainly be we'll be quickly approaching a green flag pit window at some point. We'd like to thank all the following sponsors and partners for supporting the Canadian E-Motorsports Network. Of course, without you, we wouldn't be able to be doing this every single Tuesday night. So Cal's Fried Chicken and Barbecue, of course, the title sponsor of the NASCAR Series, and also helping to power the IndyCar Series for Season 3 coming up in September. Rampage Coffee Co., Pipey Kettle Soup, Fort River Brewing Company, Bangarang Hard Seltzer, Nordic Aluminium, GSGSG Vinyl 3D, GTR, and of course, powering the Crank It Up every single Tuesday night on the iRacing platform. It is TrackHams22.com. So, let's do our penultimate TrackHams22.com Crank It Up. So that was the TrackCams22.com. Crank it up. We'll pop that up just very, very quickly, but it doesn't make sense to. Yeah. Caution out on lap 60. It was 67. We just got to lap 68. Yeah. Caution out for what looks to be Jared Ireland. Don't know if anybody else was caught up in it, but there was a car spinning down the back straightaway in the background.
Let's see if we can wind our way back to that.
Okay, it was 67.
And the thing about it happening right now, Reegs, is like it's still a couple laps too early to come in for like the full fuel and try and stretch it, I would say. Like, I don't know if guys are going to get 30 laps. Like, unless you're banking on another caution, very risky. Oh, yeah, there's one sideways first.
Oh, Ford wasn't clear.
And then, yeah, Ireland's just collateral damage.
So it was Tomlinson that was collected too. Oh, he barely grazed the wall there, and then he got the...
Just a little tap.
Meanwhile, pit stops.
Not for Mangrum.
Nope. Interesting call.
Yeah, Sears maybe jumping the queue here a little bit. So, I think once they get gridded up here, that's when I'll try to do the full-on real-time math that I was talking about. Oh, man. That jarred me for a second going into fast forward.
Yeah, not the most professional looking, but it was quick and easy. So the 7 took just fuel. And the 32.
Okay, interesting calls. I mean, yeah, it's colder, but do you think a set of tires is going to get 50 laps?
So the 1 is on a 16-lap stint. He is still out front. He probably might get eaten alive by everybody. The 32 and the 7, clearly, we just went back and saw they didn't take tires. The 32 at a 6.8 second pit stop as well, so I imagine no tires there either. Everybody else took 4.
And I mean, at this point, I think you almost have to.
So this is going to be interesting when we go back green for 30 laps to go.
Indeed it will. And let's just see.
So Magram and Sears on the front row, McCauley and Belmonte row 2, Hurdle all the way up to 5th now because they only took just fuel on that stop. So he's been averaging about top 15 or so throughout this whole night. Again, he doesn't have the greatest history here at Auto Club Speedway, so hopefully trying to maybe turn that around here with a solid run and maybe try to figure out a way to get into the Championship 4 next week at Homestead-Miami.
Yeah, his biggest problem right now, though, is the guy he's chasing is in front of him. And, you know, that gap being what it was to begin with, like, having Sears ahead, knowing realistically there's probably only that one spot point-wise. Yeah, I mean, you do have to take risks, but they have to be calculated still. And speaking of calculated, I do have an order if they were to finish as they are right now, which I'll briefly get. Well, no, I won't get to it because we're restarting.
If everybody is able to separate themselves in such a fashion, then I think you can quickly point some stuff out. But anyways, let's get this restart done and over with CD Mangrum in the race lead.
Yeah, like realistically as it is right now, again, we're only looking at that final spot. And
Mercado's around.
Oh! Yeah, there's another caution.
Collects Jason Butler, or no, yeah, it was Butler, and then a roulette gets collected. He hits the inside wall, front end gone. So another caution on lap 71. Again, the 41 gets collected in yet another incident.
Yeah, no amount of turtle wax is going to save that front end from Mark Ouellette, unfortunately. But yeah, as I was saying, like, it's pretty much just that one spot that matters, and with Charlie Sears in third right now, he's the guy in that spot right now, so he's pretty much making it irrelevant to look at that other than to say, yeah, still very much must win if you're outside of fourth right now.
Replay of what happened. Oh, Mercado came up.
Ooh.
And the Butler had nowhere to go.
Yeah, just was even still trying to push so many laps down. That part is commendable. Just, yeah, didn't work out for him here. And you know what? That's him around again.
Roulette may have slightly came down simultaneously. Again, different angles can be deceiving.
Little column A, little column B usually is how these things shake out.
Ooh, we have a group coming down pit road.
And I think, well, lap 73, if it's a little bit colder, I think at this point you might be able to top off and make it to the end because fuel might not burn quite as quickly if it's cooler.
Okay, so everybody got fuel except Sears got 2 tires.
And that's not an insignificant change in the standings. Sears down to 11th. Suddenly, Hurdle at -10 right now. Higginbotham at -8 to Sears. Suddenly, he's behind them. It's game on.
Just remember the past 2 races we've had here in the network. Or, I guess we could say 3.
Oh, absolutely, you could say 3.
So it's Macaulay, Heaney, and Hurdle top 3. Wilson and Knoll rounding at the top 5 at the moment.
And again, Wilson...
Oh boy, another group.
And I think Higginbotham's in that group. No, he's not. It's I may have confused him for Ford. Those black and white cars, they all look the same. Or did I screw that up too?
It's Knoll, Magrum, Belmonte, Tomlinson, Binns, Young, O'Toole, Janikowski, Butler.
Okay, that is staggered pitting. That's a choice.
So if it's drivers that just came down like a lap ago or so, then that might be top offs. If it's a bunch of new drivers, then they took their round.
Yeah, that's also a fair thing to consider. Again, very quick turnaround between those 2 cautions.
Oh man, they're gonna have to catch up.
Yeah, just hit the restart zone at full speed.
Do the Kyle Busch at Daytona that one year.
Pretty much.
So we're going to be at 26 laps to go when we come to the green flag for this restart. Everybody trying to catch up to this pack here. McCauley on the inside on the front row. Jason Heaney on the high side looking for his first career win in the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. And then on row 2, Andy Hurdle, Adam Wilson, and Ty Higginbottom in 5th as well. Sears is behind them in 7th. Green flag.
All right, we got some ingredients here, Reegs, and whatever those ingredients are, they helped Corbin McCauley turn into a bit of a rocket, but I don't think that's going to last long.
McCauley ahead by about almost 3/10 as the whole pack rages on behind him.
Yeah, I wonder if, that secondary pack, again, we noticed they didn't quite fully catch up. I wonder if maybe they thought there was going to be one more lap under caution, because that was a little bit shorter than we've seen.
Ooh, Kalinian with a slide up the track. I think Nolan Ford might have had something happen behind them in the background. Ty Higginbottom diving down to the inside, trying to get underneath Kalinian for the second position, trying to make up some ground, get some good points to get himself possibly back toward the cut line.
Points ain't going to matter. This is, again, I would say must win with, Sears back up in 6th now. There's just not enough of a gap between anyone ahead of Sears that's still looking for a playoff spot to do it without winning.
Kalinian versus Heaney for second. I believe Kalinian's going to clear the way, though. Heaney's also clear. Charlie Sears going to try to take advantage of Higginbottom and Wilson. He's going to give a push to the 97 down low on lap 77.
Yeah, trying to, eventually he'll try and find a way out. But
Heaney in the wall.
Yeah. And that not the first time either. I think he had a bit of a tap during the crank it up that we noticed. But that's going to give Sears a run here.
Everybody scramble right there. That gave a really good run to the 32.
Cleared both Tornado Alley guys right on the spot.
Ooh, Sears about cleared himself, but not clear. Oh, they bump again.
They do. Again, you cannot give a millimeter out here. Not with what's at stake.
You got Sears, Higginbottom, Wilson, and kind of Hurdle all within a group here. Oh, man, what a slide that was. But Higginbottom's going to cross him over down the back straightaway.
The funniest thing is looking at all this, you'd look at how they're running right now. And
boy!
You'd look at how they're running right now and you'd almost say, McCauley and Kalinian are running 1-2. What else would you expect? Everything is happening still, and there's still everything to play for after that.
And you said these guys are not going to give an inch about that.
Well, I think specifically I said they're not giving a millimeter, and I think even that's being proven right.
Both. And then, of course, in front of them, there's no surprise whatsoever. It's,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You'd look at how they're running right now, and you're saying, oh, yeah, that's probably about right. But
ooh,
far
Sears
from it here.
Sears to second.
And again, he's got the edge right now because he has the position. He would love dearly to cement his spot with a win on an oval, just to kind of say, you know what? I'm here, boys. This might not be, what I'm best known for, but I'm here. Let's run.
These are the laps since last pit, by the way. So McCauley and Higginbottom, Heaney, Wilson are all at 11. Sears, Kalinian, 7. Tomlinson, 6. After being collected in that incident there, too.
Yeah, that's a heck of a recovery, actually, from Tomlinson, now that you mention it.
Now,
again, no, go ahead.
The thing is with all this, too, McCauley has not been able to pull away. Ever.
Nope. I don't think he's had a lead of more than a second at any point, has he? I heard you say 6 cents, 7 cents earlier.
Not even. There hasn't been a single leader that has been able to get at least half a second ahead.
No, everybody's brought their game face. Everybody's found the groove here, so to speak, as Higgy moves up to second.
Man, oh man. We're seeing a lot of changes for positions in behind, but the lead changes still hasn't been affected yet for the past couple of laps here. Macaulay leading the charge here, but then...
yeah, this...
yeah, there we go. Oh, that's close for comfort.
Yep, I'm seeing this. Like, we were talking about, wild predictions during the Crank It Up.
Ooh, Higgy to the outside.
I feel like a safe one would be that this won't end without some kind of calamity.
Macaulay clears Higgy for the top spot once again. Tomlinson trying to fight Sears for a podium position. And Wilson's there too.
Again, Wilson, he's another guy who has to win. We've been talking about that all night here. And he's been, fairly consistently, well, I guess I can't really say that. He finished 10th and 7th in the 2 stages, but he's been around, shall we say. The name has been in the picture. I wonder if he's just waiting for the lights to be the brightest to seize his moment.
17 laps to go, and the 17 barely head the lead at the line. He and Higgy continuing to battle side by side for the lead going into turns 1 and 2. Mason Tomlinson and Jason Heaney both trying to surprise here as non-playoff drivers.
Yeah, they're hanging around here, and I mean, we've seen flashes of brilliance out of both guys. Unfortunately, again, neither one made the playoffs, as you mentioned, but you know what? They both had their moments. Like, Tomlinson nearly upset the apple cart in Indianapolis. Heaney had his stage win in Charlotte. You know what? These guys are capable here, and I mean, let's not forget about Justin Belmonte and Kyle Knoll right at the tail end of this. You can't even call it a lead pack. Everybody's still kind of together that first 12.
There is at least a second separating the top 10.
That's... I mean...
they technically call this a super speedway.
Yeah, get Gwen Stefani on the line. This is BANANAS.
.5 laps to go here in the Nordic Aluminium 200 at Auto Club Speedway. We have a showdown going on here in the closing laps of tonight's round of 8 finale. The 17 had a bit of a ghost moment right there. Yes. Now the thing is too to know, some of these guys have now reached a stint of 17 laps since they last pitted.
Well, I mean, you'd have to figure that out. I wouldn't mind seeing that lap since last pit tracker overall, because again, we had the 2 cautions back to back. So one set would have pitted on the previous caution, the next set would have pitted on the next one. So yeah, we'll see how tire life hangs on here. You'd have to think the guys that pitted under that earlier caution, they're hoping for another one to get back on, even footing here.
3 wide for second. Higginbottom in front of Tomlinson, Belmonte, and Macaulay. Oh man, the 6 and the 17 are pretty familiar if we remember a couple Auto Club races ago.
Well, yeah, the iRacing debut at Auto Club, like we were talking about earlier. And I believe, if I recall, Belmonte just made it on fuel that night.
Belmonte's gonna... Oh, he almost challenged for the lead. Might have had a bit of a slide there. Tomlinson's gonna try to get a run in behind him.
Oh.
Now 13 laps to go. The 17 has dropped back to 5th.
Yeah, again, I think his biggest issue here will be... Biggest thing for him will be just keeping it clean. Like, again, the stage win earlier, that gave him a little bit of breathing room if something were to happen.
Ooh.
But, yeah, you have Higginbotham, Wilson, Sears still in that lead pack. Andy Hurdle even there still in 9th. Like, you've got guys all... Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Green flag pit stops. The 97, 17, and 4 are up first.
Okay, let's go. And we were talking about that kind of 20 to 24 lap fuel window. I wonder if there's like maybe just making absolutely sure in that case as well.
So what will these guys choose to do? Higginbottom is going for tires.
I mean, there's something to be said for a pace advantage at the end. Macaulay did not, I don't think.
Tomlinson and Macaulay both just fuel.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out later on.
So the 97 with that 2-tire call, that could be very interesting. Again, as long as everybody's able to pack back up together somehow, then... Well, I mean, yeah, they're now starting to... This lead pack is starting to quickly approach, but we're going to see these guys start to eventually make some calls here down pit road. And it looks like a couple of them will. No, I was completely deceived there.
Notably staying on the lead lap with their strategy calls there.
Now 10 laps to go. Justin Belmonte in the race lead over Jason Oh, how about that? We got a 6 and a 9 first and second.
You said it, not me.
I have every right at this point.
I mean, I'm the guy who just called myself a bastard on commentary earlier, so it would be well within character.
I guess that's what happens when you're not affiliated with a certain anymore.
Oh yeah, I've got like, you know, I'm neutral, homie. And Wilson with a little bit of a wobble there. I wonder if that was to avoid a speeding penalty. There was no smoke, but something to scrub off the last of those tires.
So we'll quickly see here what the 21 decides to do. This is going to be crucial.
Yeah, this is, you know, effectively make or break for his Championship 4, you know, credentials here.
2-tire call.
Okay.
8 laps to go. Here comes Heaney.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, it doesn't feel like it makes a ton of sense to go for 4 just because I don't think there'd be enough time to make up the pace, quite honestly.
So the laps are winding down. I imagine we'll see a couple more cars start to come down eventually, but there's a lot of these guys that are at stints of 19, 20 laps at the moment.
Yeah, again, you wonder about the fuel stretch from earlier. And, you know, it'll be interesting because, again, we had the 2 cautions back-to-back, so the ones who would have fueled up at that point, like, they might have topped up during the second one, not 100% sure on that, but, you know, you don't burn as much under caution, obviously, so if they can make the play to the end, like, you're almost in no man's land here in terms of strategies, whether if you go in now, do you make the time up, or is it just kind of worst case scenario as Heaney's coming in?
Jason Heaney goes to pit road, so Jordan Kalinian's going to inherit the race lead now with 6 laps to go. So, are there a couple of drivers that maybe try to stretch this out somehow?
I mean, again, I think you have to at this point. Like I said, as the laps tick down and down, like, you don't have enough time to make it up, I don't think. So, if you're, I don't know, maybe a guy like Charlie Sears in 3rd, you might have to prioritize track position here.
Coming to 5 laps to go, Kalinian looking for yet another playoff win. Is he going to be able to make it, or will he have to go down pit road? Can you believe this? We went from an all-out like pack racing and all that for the first couple stages, and then early on in the 3rd and final stage, and now all of a sudden, this might be a fuel strategy game.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit here, and the guy who rather famously won on fuel is in pit lane now, so Andy Hurdle not trying it again.
Kalinian goes.
Yeah, I'd be curious again. I'm not sure which section Sears came in as part of.
Belmonte's at 23 lap stint. Sears is at 24. Kyle Knoll 23. Magram's at 23. The top 8 still have yet to come down pit road.
And I seem to remember a race earlier this year where Charlie Sears ran out of fuel at the very end. He was looking at a really good finish, but ran out. So that's not unheard of as a possibility here.
It'll be 3 laps to go for the number 6 Warrior Ford from Patchogue, New York. Looking for what would be his first win of the season, first win since last year. Man, oh man, has it ever been a rough run for him.
Yeah, he'd be a 2-time Auto Club winner, though.
Exactly.
Okay. I saw Sears dropped to 3rd. Wasn't sure if that was
It's Sears and Knoll going. Sears and Knoll are going at it for 2nd. But Belmonte is still hanging on for the race lead. Now 2 laps to go.
Yeah, just survive the next minute and a half, really. Especially if you're Charlie Sears. If you get there in 3rd, you are in the championship 4.
Yeah, Justin Belmonte looking for the win. Kyle Knoll is looking for his first career win in the series. Charlie Sears looking for his 2nd. Then there's Magram, Darcy Ford, Ryan O'Toole in 6th.
Hey, we saw him up in the top 5 earlier. I absolutely love seeing this. Did it happen?
No, okay, he's just down to the inside. Okay, so far so good. No time lost. White flag for Justin Belmonte.
Okay.
Can he make it?
Again, if Belmonte's able to hang on, that is a potentially positive sign for Charlie Sears in terms of mileage. So that's definitely a relevant case study here as it relates to the championship 4. But I think we might be seeing the 6 get back into the winner's circle.
Through 3 and 4, it looks like he played the fuel strategy well. To the checkered flag. He's going to be a 2-time winner at Auto Club Speedway in the Nordic Aluminium 200. Justin Belmonte to victory lane.
And there he goes. And yeah, it looks like Sears has made it.
Oh, Sears takes 2nd. Knoll ran out. Magram steals 3rd.
So it's old Chuck Nasty taking advantage of the road course last week. Second and second in the round of 8. How about that for stepping up in the clutch?
Ford ran out. O'Toole ran out. Now they're coming to the line. For these positions back here, 17 blocking the 77. Jeez. And there you have it.
Well, again, kind of anticlimactic, but certainly well earned for Charlie Sears to grab that final spot in the championship 4. And obviously for Justin Belmonte to break that winless drought here. Again, we've talked about his capability behind the wheel all season. And hey, look at that. Are those two going to link up again? But yeah, well done to JB here, stepping up when it mattered.
I think you could probably argue he's already got the best of the rest challenge clutched at this point.
Well, I mean, he'd be the only non-playoff driver to win in this particular section here, as he got some congratulations from Mercado and Magram.
So, we had like full-on pack racing for at least 90% of the race. And then the third and final stage, we have fuel strategies come into play, and we have a winless drought finally come to an end. And then we get that hell of a run from Charlie Sears, finishing in second place 2 weeks in a row. He peaked at the perfect time.
Yeah, he did. Again, what did we say at the start of the playoffs? If Charlie Sears gets to the round of 8 and Chicago can set him up, look out. That has happened. And now, again, he gets the spoils. He's fighting for a title next week.
And after the regular season he had, who could have thought?
As you say, just stepping up in the right time.
So with all that being said, I'm going to go into the iRacing voice chat here and have a long time coming chat, I suppose, here with the number 6 Ford of Justin Belmonte at Apachigo, New York. Finally, the winless drought coming to an end for the second-year driver. And if I were to go back, it has been since August 8th. Oh, it's been basically a year.
That is BANANAS, like I said earlier.
It was the Kansas 200 on August 8th.
Yeah, that's not yesterday.
So you can go ahead and put some questions together there that I can relay to Belmonte.
Yep.
Justin Belmonte, this is Regan up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
What's happening, dude?
Man, oh man, you played the fuel strategy absolutely perfect right there in the closing laps of the Nordic Aluminium 200 here at Auto Club Speedway. And of course, you didn't make the Earl Ross Cup Playoffs, but you're well ahead in the Best of the Rest Challenge. You were still able to salvage your season in some capacity here with a big win at Auto Club. And it's been a year since you've been in victory lane here in the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. It's been a long time coming. Tell us about it.
Definitely nice to pick up a win in so long. It was just good to get one on the year. It was a trying year for sure, but glad we picked one up. I finished with 0.1 fuel gallons of fuel left in the tank for that one, so I really did play it to the number. I got pretty lucky there.
Absolutely, you did. Just talk about the whole race in general and how you feel you performed throughout the whole thing and what was able to help you, along with the fuel strategies there that came out in the third and final stage. Just talk about how you were able to deal with all the pack racing that was going on through the race, and just, again, how all of this was able to make you, get you into victory lane.
Yeah, the first two stages were actually pretty chaotic. I went to the back. I had a little bit of damage. I fixed it up. Went to the back again, and trying to move through the field was hectic. It was craziness. Everybody was moving up and down the track all over the place, 3 wide, 4 wide. It was fun. It was pretty good for the most part. It was very good racing.
I got a question here from Jordy where he says, it's highly likely you would have been a playoff driver had you not missed a race, obviously, but is there an added sense of satisfaction knowing that you maintained a strong, consistent pace all night, just, with everything happening around you?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of sucks that I missed it, Could have had a couple wins, could have made a race or two and got in. I think I missed by it was 9 or 12 points, which hurt a little bit, but it's nice to be able to not let it get to me and just go race and be able to pick up a win, even in a fuel mileage fashion. It's good to get one for sure.
And now that you're a two-time winner here at Auto Club, of course, the spring race that we had back in Season 4, that battle you had with the 17 of Corbin McCauley in the closing laps, contact in Turn 4, coming to the line, you're able to hang on for your second career win in the series, sorry. Just what is it about Auto Club that just works for you?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's just got it's a high momentum track. It's easy to tear the tires up here, and I'm pretty good at saving tires. I think that's where I excel the most, like a Dover or Bristol, concrete track, Darlington. I do well at where the tires wear a decent amount. I tend to do pretty well. So I think that's part of it, and I like racing here. It's a good track. It's fun.
Absolutely, it was fun. By far one of the best races we've ever seen here in series history, and by far here in Season 5. Now with this, of course, this winless drought now having come to an end, and you move forward in next week looking to clutch the Best of the Rest challenge. Obviously, how you look to keep the momentum going forward and try to continue salvaging your season with possibly another race win trophy.
I think try to do the same thing. I obviously stages don't really matter to me if I'm going for a win, so I can try to strategize the race a little bit differently if it presents itself, because I'm just trying to get to the end, whereas some guys are trying to get points, trying to do whatever, but hopefully that plays to my advantage a little bit.
Absolutely. Now, who gets a thanks here for you being able to come on out every single Tuesday night when you can and race with us, and of course tonight getting the job done?
Shout out to you guys for putting it on every week. You guys are awesome. I enjoy watching them back all the time. You guys are really good. So thank you guys for putting it on. Thank the Canadian E-Motorsports Network for putting it on and having us out here every week. That's the biggest thing. And thank you for Warrior Racing, Warrior Raps being on the car. And yeah, we'll go better next time, I guess.
Alrighty then, that was your post-race winner interview for the 2024 edition of the Nordic Aluminium 200 at Auto Club Speedway. The driver in victory lane, a two-time Auto Club Speedway winner now, breaking a winless drought since last year, a year ago, on August 8th at Kansas Speedway. The number 6 Ford, Justin Belmonte at Apache, New York, getting the victory with the best fuel strategy out of everybody here in tonight's wild and dramatic race, the round of 8 finale. Justin, congratulations, and best of luck next week when you go to clutch the Best of the Rest challenge. And so there you have it. That was the number 6, Justin Belmonte, of course, getting the win. Let's now talk about everybody else. The unofficial results of tonight's round 21 of 22. Belmonte getting the win, of course. Charlie Sears and C.D. Mangrum finishing second and third for the second week in a row. Sears back-to-back second place finishes. Of course, he would have loved to have the win both times, but I mean, man, oh man, just knowing the regular season he had, knowing how he was starting to progress as the playoffs were going along, and he had a couple issues throughout some of the playoff races too. He peaked at the absolutely perfect time. He is into the championship 4 officially, and so is C.D. Mangrum. Kyle Knoll and Darcy Ford finishing 4th and 5th. We saw Darcy Ford get caught up in some stuff earlier in the race, but was able to come around with a perseverance in a top 5 finish. Ryan O'Toole, we saw him running up inside the top 5 early in the race, and he was able to come home with, I believe that would be his best career finish of 6th place. And then 7th through 10th is all playoff drivers, where Ty Higginbottom in 7th place. Unfortunately, it sounds like the 2022 Series champion will not be going for a second career championship, so that means we are not going to have a multi-time Series champion this season. Jordan Colleen in 8th place obviously had already advanced after the dominant win at the Chicago Street Course last week, so he's all good and well on his way to the Championship 4. Adam Wilson, 9th, pretty much was in a must-win situation. Was able to pull out a top 10 finish here at Auto Club Speedway, but unfortunately just not enough. Corbin McCauley rounding out the top 10. He was still able to make it in on points, thankfully, so he's going to have a shot once again to go for a NASCAR Series championship. And then to round out the rest of the field, except for one car, obviously, Hunter Young in 11th. We saw Mason Tomlinson running up towards the podium positions. It looked like he had the speed to possibly contend for the win, but of course, all the fuel strategies looks like it went against him. So 12th place for him. Jason Heaney in 13th. We saw him running up front as well. Again, the fuel game. Andy Hurdle finishing in 14th. Unfortunately, that was not enough for him to have a shot into the championship four, so he's also eliminated. Trevor Binns 15th. Tom Janikowski 16th. Binns rounding at the lead lap cars. Butler 17th. Jose Mercado 12 laps down at 18th. He was caught up in 2 incidents tonight. Easily was going to eliminate him from the playoffs. Just unfortunate too, knowing the hot streak that he had in recent races, especially rebounding from all the shenanigans back at Darlington Raceway to begin the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup Playoffs. Mark Ouellette 19th at 29 laps down, and to round out the field, I believe the only DNF tonight, the number 13 of Jared Ireland finishing in 20th, 34 laps down. We saw him running up front for a little bit early in the race, but obviously was caught up in some stuff, so the night went against him as well. And Jordy, back to our faces here, I guess, maybe one more time. One more race. Our championship four is solidified. C.D. Mangrum, Corbin McCauley, Charlie Sears, Jordan Kalinian.
Yeah, and you want to talk about finding form at the right time. There's something to be said for Justin Belmonte's victory, and again, very well deserved. You look at how the round of 8 drivers performed in the round. We were talking about C.D. Mangrum having a bit of, shall we say, inconsistency compared to the regular season.
Oh, geez. Did the tech issues finally hit him? Oh, man. Yep. That's unfortunate. But he managed to get through the whole race. That's all that... What the hell? Oh.
I know where I can start.
You're good now.
I was just wondering where I got cut off before, because I know it went on me.
I guess you were talking about Belmonte finally breaking the drought, Sears peaking at the right time. Sure.
Oh, yeah. So, as I say, Mangrum he peaked at the right time, most points of any of the round of 8 drivers. Sears was second in that, and that's notable because the 4 drivers who were eliminated, the closest one in terms of the 2 race total was Higginbotham, and he was 22 points behind Charlie Sears in those 2 races. So 2 second places. Again, we talked about it toward the end of the we talked about it a lot over the course of the playoffs. If Charlie Sears makes it to Chicago, look out. And again, ultimately, this all kind of came to fruition here for him. And you know what? Just a matter of things being super timely and getting the performances when it mattered. So, yeah, kudos to the 32 in his first season here, first season in the NASCARs, as you've mentioned before. And he's got a title shot next week. And I don't think he can be counted out, any of them.
And I don't know if people are going to be able to read this absolutely perfectly, but there's the updated points.
Yeah, so 13 was the gap that I've got here, so that matches up nicely. As I say, 101 points for Sears in the last 2 races, 79 for Higginbotham, 72 for Andy Hurdle. Obviously getting caught up in a couple of things tonight as well, kind of doomed his chances and turned it into a must-win situation. And then we talked about Jose Mercado having some issues tonight, and Adam Wilson, he knew what he had to do after getting collected at Chicago last week. So it was always going to be uphill there, but you know what? You still have to perform. And you know what? Coming in with a gap of 1 on the cut line, it would have been very easy for a guy like Charlie Sears to, 1 point really doesn't, you can make that up just about anywhere. But to his credit, he performed lights out here tonight, and he got the job done when he needed to. So a well-earned final spot in the Championship 4.
Absolutely. I mean, if we're judging by the drivers here in points that have advanced, so let's get this straight. We have Jordan Kalinian in his first year in the series with 8 wins, the most out of anybody, and of course, too, with the 4 playoff wins now within 6 races. Obviously going winless to Talladega and here tonight, Auto Club. C.D. Magram, then the driver of the number 1 car in his 3rd year here in the series. 2 wins on the year, absolutely consistent through the regular season. And then through the playoffs, he just started to absolutely struggle. Like, he was lacking top 5 finishes. I think he was still placing in the top 10 every now and then, but then third
He's
place
back now.
Yeah, third place finishes in both races in the round of 8, peaking at the right time for both him and Sears. The number 17, Corbin McCauley, a bit of a down year compared to last year, but still 4 wins. Obviously, that's just what happens when the competition ramps up, and he still has made his way forward. I mean, he still has he's the second most top 5s, and he is tied for the most top 10s on the season, so still has performed really well. Just, of course, the competition has ramped up, and there's, luck has also been a little bit against him from time to time, but still, though, I believe this will be now his 4th attempt at a Earl Ross Cup, so that's pretty hard to believe there. And then you have the reigning IndyCar/Dart Series champion in his first year in the NASCAR Series, Charlie Sears. Just looking at those statistics, like 1 win, 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s, 2 poles, and 21 starts. His 1 win coming on a road course. A bunch of his top 5s and podium finishes coming particularly at road courses and, of course, on the streets of Chicago as well. And then I suppose if I were to go to the stats here as well, like if I go to average finish, he is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got the 12th best average finish.
Yeah, here's the kicker, though. 3 of those top 5s, they're second place finishes in the playoffs. Again,
exactly.
A guy showing up when it matters.
And that's just what the playoffs are all about. You got to show up when it truly matters. Like, if through the whole regular season, like, he was able to get that 1 win, which helped him get into the playoffs, and then gave him that opportunity to kind of, have those moments where it would help him peak at the correct time. So we have 2 first-year drivers, a third-year driver, and a 5th-year driver that comprise the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup Playoffs Championship 4. Who the hell is getting this?
I mean, any one of them can. Like, that's the beauty of this. Like, there were some years where, yeah, you could see guys performing well, but it felt like it might skew in one direction or another. But this year, like, I think there's intrigue all over the place. Like, I really do with those 4. Because there is something to be said for having the right form at the right time.
And the right form at the right time is only going to be able to happen once next week on Tuesday, August. I have the past.
20th.
Yep, I have the past schedule. I still have the last year's schedule with me, so that helps. But yes, Tuesday, August 20th. Next week at Homestead-Miami Speedway, it's the Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue Miami Championship 200, where 4 drivers, sudden death match. Whoever finishes the best out of those 4 will be crowned an Earl Ross Cup champion. Jordan Kalinian, C.D. Magram, Corbin McCauley, Charlie Sears. You got the top 3 best drivers all season, statistically speaking, and then you have the ultimate underdog right in there. Of course, in every championship 4, there always has to be some sort of an underdog. So, man, oh man, you hear those 4 names. Championship race next Tuesday night. Only one opportunity to get the job done. Can Kalinian or Sears collect an Earl Ross Cup in their first year? Can C.D. Magram be able to pull something off in his 3rd year with the series? Can Corbin McCauley, after all the luck he has had in so many championship races, including finishing 2nd that 1 year, And then last year, a speeding penalty costing him the title when he was well in the running for it. Man, oh man, would that... In his fourth attempt, would that ever be incredible if he were to finally get the job done? But again, though, against those other three drivers, it's... I think you've said this before many times. Game on.
Yeah, I mean, that's come out a couple of times tonight as well. And I mean, there's, again, not a whole lot left to say. It's just get it done on the track. Don't turn back, just turn left, boys.
Indeed so. So with all that being said, that was the Nordic Aluminium 200 at Auto Club Speedway, the round of 8 finale, round 21 of 22 on the season. The win going to the number 6 of Justin Belmonte, breaking a 1-year winless drought. He claims his second career win at Auto Club Speedway, and would that be his 4th career win overall?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So 4th career win overall. So congratulations to him. He is well on his way to clutching the Best of the Rest challenge. But of course, what we're all going to be paying attention to the most next week is, of course, the Championship 4 for the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup. So, of course, again, too, that was round 21 of 22 tonight. We hope you all enjoyed tonight's live production of Canadian eMotorsports Network, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue action on iRacing. On behalf of Jordy Carraher, who's been here since the very beginning in Alberta, Canada, my fellow color commentator, the Canadian eMotorsports Network Competition Committee, all other drivers, staff, partners, sponsors, blah, blah, blah. My name is Regan McCauley, your play-by-play guy from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Thank you all for watching and listening to tonight's iRacing action, and we'll see you all next Tuesday night, August 20th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Atlantic, here on our YouTube channel. Live coverage of the Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue Miami Championship 200 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Jordan Kalinian, C.D. Magram, Corbin McCauley, and Charlie Sears, who will be crowned the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup champion. You will not want to miss any of the action and what will no doubt be our most dramatic race of Season 5. Take care, folks. Speed safely and have a good one. Championship finale up next. Be there.